pen and ink are mightier than the sword. Marcelo H. del Pilar. Marcelo H. del Pilar was a warrior, not with guns or swords, but with words. As a journalist, lawyer, and reformist, he used his intellect to fight against Spanish colonial rule, inspiring Filipinos to awaken to the truth of their oppression. His powerful writings and advocacy for freedom made him one of the most influential figures of the Philippine Revolution. In the late 19th century, the Philippines was under Spanish colonial rule. Spaniards dominated the government, the economy, and even religious institutions, using their influence to exploit the native population. Filipinos were subjected to high taxes, forced labor, and discrimination. The Spanish friars had immense power over the people, often abusing their authority. Despite this, a growing number of Filipinos, influenced by Enlightenment ideals, began to challenge colonial rule. Among them was Marcelo del Pilar. Marcelo del Pilar became the chief editor of the most influential reformist newspaper of the time. Written in Spanish, it exposed the abuses of Spanish authorities and called for equal rights for Filipinos. Through this publication, del Pilar and other reformists like Jose Rizal and Graciano Lopez Jaena spread revolutionary ideas that reached Filipinos both in the Philippines and abroad. Del Pilar's work went beyond journalism. As a lawyer, he fought against the injustices imposed by Spanish friars on ordinary Filipinos. He defended the rights of Filipinos who were falsely accused and unjustly punished. Unlike some revolutionaries who sought immediate independence, del Pilar initially pushed for reforms, believing that the Philippines could achieve freedom through education and political engagement. As the Spanish crackdown on reformists intensified, del Pilar was forced into exile in Spain, where he continued his advocacy. He became the leader of the, working tirelessly to gain international support for Filipino rights. His writings criticized Spanish rule and strengthened the revolutionary spirit among Filipinos, inspiring future leaders of the Philippine Revolution. Marcelo del Pilar faced numerous challenges. He was constantly persecuted by Spanish authorities, forcing him to flee his homeland. In exile, he struggled with poverty and illness, yet he never stopped fighting for his people. Despite his efforts, his dream of peaceful reform was overshadowed by the call for armed revolution. His death in 1896, just months before the Philippine Revolution broke out, meant that he never saw the independence he had fought so hard for. Marcelo del Pilar's legacy lives on in the power of journalism and free speech. His writings paved the way for the revolution that followed, proving that words have the power to change the course of history. A nation that knows its rights will not allow itself to be oppressed. Marcelo H. del Pilar. How significant was del Pilar's role in inspiring the Philippine Revolution? Do you think peaceful reform could have worked, or was revolution inevitable? Marcelo del Pilar's words ignited the flames of revolution. Though he did not live to see Philippine independence, his legacy reminds us that the fight for justice and freedom begins with knowledge and the courage to speak the truth.